Merriman tweeted how happy he was to see this kind of bigotry exposed on a national platform like this. I would simply ask you, you're a very good journalist, followed your work for a while. You investigated people just like this, and you reported on it. You used your own platform to expose them. There's no difference to me between you doing it and us doing it.
So, Piers, there is a big difference.
Well, let me finish my question, then I'll let you answer. Secondly, you went on the BBC, and you actually took part in the debate with this guy. You didn't choose not to. You didn't protest then about the BBC.
Oh, Piers, I did.
Well, okay, but you did.
Piers, let me just answer that.
Explain to me the difference, really, between you investigating and reporting on this guy in a very, aggressive, good reporting way and critical, and us doing the same thing.
You didn't do the same thing. What I did was I went undercover and exposed the techniques.
But we had the journalist from the Liverpool Echo.
Yes, and you gave his footage, a few seconds.
That's why we did the piece yesterday. He exposed this very practice in the Liverpool Echo. We had the journalist on, explained what he'd done, and then we had another person who does this very same thing. And I felt it was absolutely right and proper that we nail that guy's horrible opinions right to the floor on a national platform.
The thing is,
and I'm surprised that you would not want to do that.
You weren't able to expose his techniques. Now, I know Mike Davidson, and he comes across as kind of calm and sort of gentle. What you don't get by just shouting at him is exposing his techniques. Now, every time I've been invited on to a TV show or radio show to talk about this issue, I've said to the producers, please don't give a conversion therapist a platform and have me on as well. And they say, we have to because of balance. Now, balance is a big word in broadcasting because it's always the justification for having people on with extreme views. The problem is, if you have two people on to argue with opposing views, that might look like balance on one level, but if one person has the entire weight of evidence and medical opinion on their side and the other person doesn't, that's not balance, that's imbalance.
Okay,
that's
let me, okay, I hear that point. Let me put another point to you. The Vice-Chancellor of Oxford University came up with some people thought were controversial views. I thought they were perfectly rational and interesting views. A lot of her students getting very exercised about professors apparently at Oxford, some of them using homophobic language and so on, and complaining to her and having protests and so on. There's been a lot of this stuff in America in particular, where a lot of the more liberal universities, the students don't really want to hear any right-wing views and actually have protests and ban speakers who have views they don't like. And she said this: I've had many conversations with students who said they don't feel comfortable because their professors express views against homosexuality, a lot of it from religious grounds. They don't feel comfortable being in class with someone with these views, as you don't. And I say to them, this is the woman running Oxford University, I'm sorry, but my job isn't to make you feel comfortable. Education is not about being comfortable. I'm interested, well, let me finish. I'm interested in making you uncomfortable. If you don't like his views, you challenge them, you engage with them, and you figure out how a smart person can have views like that. You work out how you can persuade him to change his mind.
Piers,
what is wrong with that?
There's a difference between views and techniques. What we're talking about is someone's practice in a quasi, they would call professional setting, as opposed to opinions. There's a big difference there. Now, when they practice these techniques, they cause a lot of harm. Now, you wouldn't have someone on who says people with cancer shouldn't engage in chemotherapy, because that would be deemed irresponsible, because there are desperate, vulnerable people who would take the advice. And similarly, let me finish. Similarly, you should not be giving a platform to someone who preaches a message that is dangerous to the most vulnerable people watching.
But actually,
sorry, can I make this point?
Irresponsible broadcasting.
Stonewall say 1 in 10 health and social care staff have witnessed colleagues express the belief that sexual orientation can be cured. 1 in 10 health and social care staff have witnessed exactly this. It is absolutely vital that a light is shone on something that is so prevalent.
You don't shine a light by having Piers just shouting at someone.
You know what, sometimes, Patrick, I totally respect, like I said to you before, I think you did a lot of important work in this area. I just don't agree with you. And actually, there comes a point when...
That's because you've changed. You used to be a journalist and now you're just a narcissist. You've gone from exposing people to just shouting at them.
You know what, Patrick, I've tried to show you respect. You've shown none to me back. So we're now going to end the interview. Good luck to you. And I'm sorry you feel that way. I think, unfortunately, you represent, with that kind of statement, the very thing I'm talking about this new liberalism, which actually isn't liberal at all. It doesn't allow tolerant debate. It doesn't allow any tolerance of any opinion.
I want to hear opposing views.
You think you're right.
I want to hear opposing
and anybody
views.
who doesn't agree with you
that's not
immediately
true
has to be
that's a straw man,
dismissed and
that's a
abused.
straw
And I
man.
don't like that.
That's a straw man. I want to hear
Patrick,
opposing
we'll leave it there,
views.
mate.
What I don't want to hear is dangerous techniques.
You know what? I don't want to have a debate where I'm showing you respect and you show utter disrespect back, because that, I'm afraid...
But you're not letting me talk, so that's not very...
We did talk for about 10 minutes. So that's also nonsense. Patrick, thank you very much. Still to come, the eccentric Eton-educated Tory who's become a social media star, has even been tipped to replace Theresa